It's always Gold FM for us at Golden Point, Raki Raki.
Gold FM is #1 in Lusaka.
Gold FM is Nandi's best radio station.
It's always Gold FM with us here in Singapore.
Old is gold, and Gold FM is #1 here in Lusaka.
Singapore loves classic hits on Gold FM.
Listen to Gold FM here in Tagua.
We love Gold FM in Ba.
We've got beautiful beaches, people, and Gold FM in Raki Raki.
Lusaka loves the classic hits on Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight, landlords encouraged to register their properties. Landowners explore multi-million-dollar tourism venture. And proposed Fiji First collects over 2,000 signatures. Good evening, welcome to FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. But first, the driver of a vehicle that was involved in a fatal car crash last week passed away at the Lautoka hospital yesterday. The 68-year-old was driving his pickup truck when it was allegedly hit by another car driven by a 30-year-old bank officer. Both vehicles were traveling towards Lautoka along Waimalika on Queens Road on the 29th of last month. A 26-year-old woman who was a passenger in one of the cars also died at the scene. The 30-year-old driver has been questioned. Meanwhile, police spokesperson Anna Naisoro says with the Easter long weekend approaching, they will step up their presence on the roads.
We'll continue to do our part by being out there, by ensuring that we're monitoring the movement, but then the onus is also on drivers and pedestrians alike, that they also have to take ownership of their own safety, because we can't be everywhere just to monitor every single person to ensure that the safety of their lives.
More than 2,000 signatures have been collected by the proposed Fiji First. 3 different venues were targeted by Vorenge Frank Bainimarama in a signature drive for his proposed political party. Savaira Tambua reports.
People from all walks of life came to sign for the proposed Fiji First as it embarks on its registration process. Tables were set up outside the supermarket this morning, but a niggling issue was Fijians turning up without voter ID cards.
When you come into town, carry your cards with you, bring it so that you'll be able to put in your signatures and fulfill what you need to do.
The proposed Fiji First needs 5,000 signatures in order to register for the September election. Bainimarama is using this bus to reach Fijians in the Suva Nosori area for their signatures, his choice of transport, used by hundreds of thousands around the country every day. Representatives from the proposed Fiji party, including Bainimarama, will leave for the west tomorrow afternoon, visiting villages along the King's Highway. The proposed party is expected to seek signatures in Yasawa. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
Fiji Commerce Commission is urging residential landlords to register their property with the Commission. This is leading up to a price control system for rent by the end of the year, paving the way for the removal of the rent freeze. Vitika Pratap has more.
Homeowners who rent out their property must register with the Commerce Commission in order to gain from the price control system.
If they want to make any submissions with respect to changes in rent when a rental price control order comes into being.
The rent freeze has been in place for a few years now. Dr. Mahendra Reddy says it's time to do away with the restriction.
But rental rates can be increased if there's a price control order. And in that price control order that we will make submission to the Minister later this year, we'll provide a formula.
Dr. Reddy says landlords often carry out renovations and other improvements to flats or rental homes and shouldn't lose out on returns. The price control system will take care of this.
So any capital improvement that the landlord makes obviously will raise the principal value of the property, and therefore the return on investment, while the rate would be fixed, the amount would go up. So that should be reflected in the rental rates.
Homeowners will need to fill in all the details of the property when registering. Once the price control system comes into place, they'll have to show improvements or investments done to the existing property in order to get a rental increase. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
3 landowner units in Nandi have embarked on a commercial venture which could potentially rake in millions of tourist dollars. Mika Longa reports the project is set to get off the ground once the landowners find a joint venture partner.
3 clans from the villages of Namotomoto and Nabodi in Nandi, trading under the name of Vanua Nakovadake Holdings Limited, have engaged in a multi-million-dollar land development project involving prime foreshore traditional land between Denarau and Fantasy Island in Nandi.
Here we are to market one of the biggest development that the landowners are doing. This development is a land development for integrated tourism project. It is a 750 acres development project, 311 hectares of foreshore land and also 21 islets for tourism.
Way back in 2006, we were thinking of making a tourism development for the one of Nakovadake.
Vanua Nakovadake Holdings is seeking a joint venture partner at the Trade Pacifica 2014 exhibition underway in the Vodafone Arena at Lodala Suva. Principal consultant Kinechochi Sokosoko says the company has secured 99-year foreshore and native land leases over the development site. The Vanua Nakovadake, which owns 90% of land leases in Nandi town, has so far pumped in $110,000 into the project. An environment impact assessment of the project has been approved by the Environment Ministry.
We have a $65 million equity over there. We're looking for potential investors to come in and basically, go in partnership with this project.
We want schools, start from kindergarten to primary school to secondary school, tertiary, and we our vision is to also make our own hospital, private hospital.
The Vanua Nakovadake Holdings Limited expects to meet with the Chinese business delegation due in the country later this week. A meeting is also scheduled with potential investors from Papua New Guinea. Mika Longa, FBC News.
Coming up, Nandi Animal Clinic needs rescuing of its own.
Old on Tower में it's only Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
ताकि हर घर में खाली मिर्ची FM बजे. मिर्ची FM it's hot.
Best sound, best music. Mirchi FM rocks and records.
Nandi का #1 station है Mirchi FM.
Mirchi FM is hot. Mirchi FM it's #1 in nursery.
Mirchi FM is hot. हम लोग मिर्ची FM रोज सुनता है. मिर्ची FM जागो मामा.
Mirchi FM it's hot.
Talita na radio Fijuan na muira ni nondo kono.
Ando talita kana borro na radio Fijuan singa toka boleh ni station ni alumatu.
Ando talita ka bale una borro na radio Fijuan station ni alumatu ilo toka.
Ando talita ka bale una borro na radio Fijuan na mandi na station ni alumatu.
Au tungo korbo. Ando borro mo lebe na station ni alumatu na radio Fijuan.
Ando borro na radio Fijuan na station ni alumatu na mandoi tele.
Welcome back here with FBC News. An animal clinic in the West is facing a crisis with only 2 months to find a new home. The Animals Fiji Clinic in Nandi has been run by the West Charity Trust Association since 2012, providing veterinary care for pets, farm animals and even injured stray animals. Akasita Tale reports the clinic will have to shut down if it can't find a new location.
Since its doors opened 2 years ago, Animals Fiji has treated around 6,500 injured animals, rehomed 960 abandoned pets, and desexed around 2,300 cats and dogs. Its work is nowhere near complete, but with its lease in Nandi running out, the clinic is racing against time.
There's probably more animals out there that we could ever imagine that need help, and unlike kids or humans, they can't speak up and say, I need help. So that's where the community can come in and do their little bit. If they see something's on the side of the road, maybe they can house it for a few nights until it gets better and release it. They can always call us and ask questions.
Animals Fiji is trying to collect $300,000 so they can set up a new clinic since their time on this current property has expired. The clinic has seen more cats and dogs being poisoned by paraquat in the past month. If people are not careful, this can also affect young children.
Paraquat is a growing concern, I'm sure, all over the country, and it's against the law to poison or hurt or poison an animal here in Fiji. And it's not only hazardous and dangerous to dogs and cats, obviously humans or small children that are walking in that could lick their hands or their feet, and it's deadly. There's no coming back from it.
20 communities in the West have been covered in outreach programs to control animal population and assist injured animals. However, if animals are not treated well, it may also pose a risk for the tourism industry.
Definitely. We've received emails on numerous occasions from people saying, I saw a dog on the side of the road, and if this is how Fiji are going to treat their animals and we don't want to come back, obviously that's really hurtful, because that's not reflecting Fiji as a whole. So we need to make sure as a community in the Western Division in Nandi, and as Fiji as a whole, that we're working on betterment of the animals, which reflects a better society here.
Animals Fiji has received over $20,000 in donation since the notice to vacate. It's got a long way to go and only 60 days to do it. Ako si Tatalei, FBC News.
For the first time, the Tourism Fiji Board will hold its meeting in Savu-Savu, visiting a number of major developments planned for the next 5 years. It will also meet with members of the Savu-Savu Tourism Association. Acting Chair of Tourism Fiji, Elizabeth Powell, says beginning with Savu-Savu, their meetings will be held in regions so that key stakeholders will have the opportunity to meet the board and discuss opportunities. Savu-Savu is home to several luxury upmarket brand resorts which attract much of Fiji's growing wedding and honeymoon markets. There are 35 licensed hotels and resorts with a total of 314 rooms in Savu-Savu and nearby islands, representing about 10% of the hotels in Fiji. Ahead in sports, an all-Western affair in Schools Rugby League final. An OFC team size each other up.
Today FM is awesome in Ba. We love you, Today FM.
Today FM rocks in the story, and I love listening to Today FM.
Today FM is #1 in Telev.
Today FM rocks in Lotaka. Woohoo!
Today FM is the most popular station in the scene.
We love everything about Today FM here at Golden Point Reki.
Everybody in Singapore loves Today FM.
Today FM rocks in Ba.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Bulan 2 saya Tolu FM, number 2 Raki-Raki.
Bula FM number 2 in Nosor.
Go etabo ke buat kola sa Bula FM nga.
Bula FM number 2 Korbu.
Bula FM number 2 Sawa.
Bula FM number 2 Lotoka. Bula.
Number 2 Bula FM member.
Bula FM
number 2 NSR in Singapore.
Kalau tali tak ada warung yang Bula FM Lotoka.
Ali akar warung Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Welcome to FBC Sports. Now, the Fair FC striker Joseph Namariau believes Ba will not be a walkover in the OFC Champions League. Having previously played for Suva, Lambasa and Nabua, the Vanuatu player says he is eyeing the Men in Black as the team to beat in the competition.
Maybe some of the old players are there, but I'm not sure yet. Maybe there's some new talent players came in, especially all the young players. And I don't know, I haven't watched any game they played. But I know some of the players, like Finiswami is one of my classmates. We're studying at the University of South Pacific in local campus, and I know him very well. And he's a good talent player. And also maybe Ronald Kuma, Malakai Diwa, and all of them, they are very young players. They are very professional players.
Group C matches sees the Fair taking on Papua New Guinea's Hikari United on Monday at 1 p.m. at Govind Park in Ba. Groups A and B matches begin the following day at Churchill Park in Lotoka. Vodafone Fiji Secondary School's Rugby League competition has seen immense growth this year. Tournament officials have commended the efforts of the new teams that continue to impress during the semi-finals earlier today. Chalendal Dhaka reports.
It was a tough day at the office for schools looking to book their spot in the finals of the Rugby League competition next weekend. The high standard of the games was a testament to the preparation and commitment of players to their training.
The improvement has gone to such a stage that It seems that all the schools that were renowned for rugby league has now been put to the wire for challenges from even the new schools.
One school in particular came all the way from the Highlands to stamp their mark against the top teams of schools rugby league.
One of the schools that took us, who was surprised on their performance was Nabosa Central. Coming from nowhere, no rugby league background, but today they are going to be playing their first ever semi-final in the secondary schools rugby league.
Meanwhile, it will be an all-Western affair in the Under-19 finals next weekend as Nabosa Central takes on Bar Provincial Secondary School. Bar Provincial will have one final defense of the coveted Colin Love Trophy. Chalendo Kadak, FBC Sports.
Suva Touch Association started their weekly draws today in Suva with a lot of interest developing amongst the people. 12 teams took part in today's matches in various categories from the under-20s, men's, women's, mixed and over 30s. Officials were pleased with the turnout as well as the performance of players despite the unfavourable ground conditions.
Competition today was quite tough because national players come back to their clubs. They represent their clubs and the level is gone up. Just because we had an international tournament last year where Australia, New Zealand and Samoa came over and exposure was given to these young kids. And starting off this first round, you really can tell that the level of touch has gone up another notch.
Cloudy conditions and rain were experienced over the country today. A trough of low pressure with associated cloud and rain affects Vanuatu, Fiji, Tonga, Niue and Southern Cooks. Meanwhile, an east to southeast wind flow prevails over most Pacific Island countries. Mombasa was a high of 31 degrees at 3 p.m. today. All other centres were in the high 20s. Tomorrow's forecast is for rain and thunderstorms over the Fiji group. The marine forecast is for southeast to northeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas, poor visibility in areas of heavy rain and thunderstorms. The outlook for Monday, some showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, fine apart from afternoon or evening showers. Southerly winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. Our headlines once again. Commerce Commission tells landlords to register their property in order to benefit from price control system. Elderly man hurt in a road accident dies after almost 2 weeks in hospital. And proposed Fiji First says it has 2,000 signatures already. On to this week's poll question. Should women form their own political party to contest the September 17th elections? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News. Or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's FBC News this evening. We'll be back again same time tomorrow. Until then, from me and the team, good evening. Nimo Demanda.
देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2 is number 1 in Singapore.
मैं लंबासा के निवासी, मेरा नाम प्रेम चंद्रा है। देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2 को मेरा सलाम।
नैनी में देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2।
रेडियो फीजी 2 में देश की धड़कन मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 is number 1 in Singapore. नैनी में मेरा धड़कन है रेडियो फीजी 2।
हम ननुपुर के लिए रहता है और हम रेडियो फीजी 2 हरदम सुनता है।
हमें रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनो बहुत अच्छा लगे। आप भी रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनो।
देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2।